Andersonville, Georgia, known as the place where the Confederacy held Union prisoners of war. Let's fly our RV-12 down there and check it out. Now, the green line is the route we ended up taking. Although we took off from KJZP, Pickens County Airport, the track appears to begin here at KPUI. I had set my iPad on the passenger seat while I taxied out, and the heat from the sun got it so hot that it shut down until it cooled off as I climbed out and got air flowing over it. Now, this is going to matter a little bit later on.
Pickens County traffic, RV 556, Whiskey Sears, departing runway 16, Pickens County, straight out.
Because it's so hot today, I plan to fly at 4,500 feet to get cooler air.
All right, we're not going to be able to go to 4,500, so we're going to stop at 3,500.
We stayed down low for the entire flight. Pretty bumpy down there. Took 1.5 hours to get there, but it seemed a lot longer. Now, here's the layout of the airport in Americus where I landed. Like a lot of airports across the country, it once was an Army airfield, shut down and given to the county. The winds favored a landing on runway 5, but somebody before me landed on runway 10, so I did the same thing.
America's traffic, RV 6 Whiskey Sierra, short final, runway 10 at
500.
Taxied up to and parked at the FPO building. Southern Georgia is an agricultural area, and they have a lot of ag planes based here. Some of the most dangerous flying you can do, so hats off to them. This is a place where Charles Lindbergh soloed. Now that's historical. Missy, behind the desk there, set me up with this crew car, so off I go to explore the infamous Andersonville prison. Now, even though it's known as the prison at Andersonville, its proper name is Camp Sumter, named after the county that it's located in. This is an artist's depiction of what the stockade looked like in 1866. Covering 26 acres, it was designed for 10,000 prisoners, but ultimately it held more than 32,000. The walls are made of pine trees and stand 15 to 17 feet high. I was impressed by how many trees had to be cut, stripped, and set in the ground, all by manual labor. If you arrived as a new prisoner, this is the main gate you came in through. Once inside, you'd see the conditions and you'd know you're in for a horrible time there. There was overcrowding, no shelter from the sun or from the cold and rain in the wintertime. Almost 13,000 men died here from exposure, malnutrition, and disease. Water was scarce, and legend has it that in answer to the prayers of the prisoners, God hit the earth with a lightning bolt, and water sprang out as Sweetwater Creek. This monument was built after the war to commemorate this event. Here's a view of the camp looking back from the other side. It's a big area. Now, to protect the camp, there were forts that were set up around the perimeter. Informational displays like this one highlight the features of the prison. This fort consists of dirt berms built up for protection. The northern states erected their own monuments here to honor their dead. A section of the original wall is preserved here. Prisoners had to erect their own primitive shelters using whatever they could get. Guard towers line the outside walls. And if you were a bad boy, you'd end up here for a while. The national park is divided into 3 areas. The prison, just shown, a museum, and this, the cemetery. More than 13,800 Union soldiers are buried here, some from the prison, but others from battles or hospitals nearby. Prisoners were all buried naked since their clothes were needed by other prisoners. This cemetery is still in use today, with around 150 new burials each year. I skipped the museum. Didn't want to, but remember how my iPad shut down because it overheated? I began to worry about my EFA screen since my plane was sitting outside in 93-degree heat. I should have left the canopy cracked open, but I didn't. So, worried about that, I headed back to the airport. Drove back to the airport, thanked Missy for the use of the car, paid for my gas, and left a tip. Flying home now, we're going to level off at 3,500 feet again. Yes, because of clouds. Earlier in the day, the forecast was for the clouds to lift and give sunny skies all the way back home, but that was not to be. We get pop-up summer storms down here due to the heat. You can see those cloud bottoms, and they don't look too friendly. With about 45 minutes left in our flight, we're making reasonably good speed for an RV-12. We fly over this lakefront community, which actually looks pretty nice. I think I'd like to live there. On the other hand, if this is their water supply, I'm not so sure. Would you drink that green water? This airport is West Georgia Regional at Carrollton. I'm going to pause the narration and just let you enjoy some of the sights. Back home now and on the ground, I kind of reflect back to how I enjoy making these types of flights in my RV-12. The airplane can take me to places where I can learn things and have experiences that would be difficult by car. What I learned from this visit to the prison was just how horrible and terrible the conditions had to be there. In fact, Henry Wurz, the commander of the Confederate prison at Andersonville, Georgia, was hanged in Washington, D.C., the only Confederate officer executed as a war criminal. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this flight in time back to the Civil War in my RV-12. Don't know what we're going to do next, but stay tuned to this channel. Hope to see you in a future episode.